Welcome back to the Red Stool, and today we're talking about My Hero Academia, chapter 356, Know Your Enemy. We start this chapter right where we left off last week with the Demon Lord being pestered by the flies and or extras, as he would say. But the fight's not really going his way anymore. They are starting to put a beating on him. And I love how it's this collective team effort where you have not only the physical battle going on, but they're also having this mental chess match where they're trying to figure each other out. And last chapter, All For One, he was like, okay, this is my opportunity to escape, because now that Endeavor's down, they're just going to try to buy time until he can get back up, because he's the only real one with firepower. However, that's not the case. The heroes, they're fighting him tooth and nail. I like how Juro, she tells Tokoyami, don't worry about catching me right now. She gives him his jacket so Dark Shadow can have more room to grow underneath its darkness, and leads him to attack All For One again, because of course they only destroyed half of his mass. And Tokoyami, he comes through in clutch. I love how all of his Ragnarok moves are pretty extra, but I like it because it fits his personality. And I like how even in moments like this, Horikoshi is staying true to his characters. But back to the chapter, he actually gets it done, cracking the other half of All For One's mass. And I like how even though their heaviest hitter, Endeavor, is currently down, they haven't stopped attacking with everything they've got, and they're actually making progress. They're actually aided in this by the fact that All For One, he's still battling the people that are inside of him that are now standing up to him. Because of everything that they saw with Juro and Stars and Stripes, they've introduced this discourse into his soul, which I think Horikoshi is saying with everything he's written and how he's writing it, that now these people are trying to stand up to him. However, at the end of the day, he's still All For One, and there's a panel with him just overshadowing them, and it looks like he's almost swallowing all the defiant souls that he has inside of his body in order to quiet this, because in his normal state, of course, they wouldn't be hitting him with these attacks. He even references that, saying, you know, if I wasn't dealing with all this right now, I would have dodged that easily, and he probably would be very far away from this battlefield. But this is how fights and things are sometimes. They're messy. Things don't always go according to plan. So I like how it's not all just working out perfectly here. There's little kinks, and it just makes this all the better of a fight. But in true fashion, the Demon Lord, he comes right back by grabbing every single piece of his broken face mask, and he just repieces it back together on his face in a few seconds. And I like the attack. It just says so much about All For One and how he's not only an expert at his quirks, but even in the worst situations, even though he's dealing with so much right now, he still won't be taken down so easily. Now, almost right on cue, Endeavor, he's hopping up off the ground. And even though he's fighting through the pain, even his self-loathing and hatred that he has towards himself, he uses that to fuel him, to push him at All For One, to go ahead and surpass his limits. And I like how he has a confrontation with what it seems to be his younger self, where everything that he feels, the bashing of saying you'll never be a superhuman, you'll never be like All Might, you'll never be the number one hero. He's like, of course, that's what I used to push me all these years. That's what keeps me going. And how he just powers into the fight. And it's not like he just comes in and gets a clean hit. He actually ends up getting some of the backlash of All For One when he uses his spines to grab all of his helmet. He's also uses it as like a range to just push every single hero away from him, stabbing a couple, and even rips off Endeavor's arm as he's powering closer and closer to him. But it doesn't matter. Endeavor tanks through it, and I like how the fight has these nasty parts to it, where sometimes you gotta take a hit to give a hit. And that's what Endeavor's doing. He's not trying to be slick and slide his way in like we saw All Might did when he fought him in Camino. He's just going to bully him and rush down through this attack. And I love it. It's just like, it shows us how Endeavor has that same spirit. The same spirit we saw in him when he was fighting the high-end Nomu, and he ends up going plus ultra with the prominence burn. This moment, it feels even better than that moment as a reader. And I love how at the end, with the same hand that he just lost, he concentrates all the fire around that arm and just punches straight in to All For One. Now, of course, it's still too early to call this fight. They're still fighting back and forth. I'm not sure what's going to happen next chapter, but this is looking like they're actually going to get some more than superficial damage on All For One, because they've been nicking him here and there, but now it seems like they've finally been able to get concrete damage, pin him down, and land a solid attack. Plus, Horikoshi is showing us just how much is at stake in this war and just how much the heroes are going to have to give up in order to win. Endeavor, he's already been mutilated once again. Like I said, the body horror just continues with him getting his hand ripped off. But I love it. Horikoshi, he's been doing great. There's no break next week, thankfully. So we're going to be able to hop right into maybe a conclusion, or who knows, we could see another battlefield. But as I always say, these are always my opinions. Let me know yours down in the comments below. If you're looking for more content, you can always follow me on all my social at DatBoyBestBoy. I'm going to see y'all later, all right? Peace.